All right, my name is Mad Boots.
And I'm Hove. Green Lounge LA.
They think violence, but when you go out to anywhere else, it's nothing about that. Everybody thinking about making money and how to go make money.
People were starting to come together, so then they had to figure out another way to divide. I mean, their main thing is divide and conquer for that as well. So, because I do events as well, but not on your level, of course. But Monday, right? I'm Hove, and this is...
I'm Blackwater Kaos. You can check me out on Instagram at Get It Mode Apparel. You can also check me out on YouTube at Get It Mode Apparel.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming today, Mr. Chaos.
No, I appreciate you
What's
having
good
me.
with you, man? So, first thing I see when I see you, let's get this out the way.
Go
you
ahead.
got the no breaks, no limit on your shirt.
Right.
Get It Mode. Tell us about Get It Mode.
It's an inspirational brand. It started because, like I was just explaining to you now, I have a 25-hour day. So
Hold on, what?
I have a 25-hour day.
Bro, like what physics you using? It's only 24 in a day, though.
I have a 25-hour day, boss.
Bro, no. Cut the camera, y'all. I'm trying to figure out the extra hour. I need to borrow an hour.
No.
For sleep purposes, to be honest.
Yeah, I probably sleep about 2-3 hours a day, if that. But
Okay.
I just on a mission, and I've been on a mission for the past 15, 20 years, and Get It Mode was born in that. So as I'm trying to get the most out of every day and the most out of life, I birthed the Get It Mode brand. The tagline, no breaks, no limits. Mm-hmm. That's not ever placing any limits on yourself. Man, and as long as you keep
that's a
pushing,
no limit Master P influence too.
and if you keep pushing and never apply the brakes,
Okay.
you can reach where you're trying to go.
Okay.
It's the effort that you put into it. And I got 3 pillars that I stand on:
Okay, let's get it.
discipline, dedication, and determination.
Say it again.
Discipline,
Okay.
dedication,
Okay.
and determination.
Let's get it. And why are those important?
All 3 of those, they all fall in with, once again, the no breaks, no limits. If you discipline yourself, it's going to be temptations. It's going to be different sacrifices you have to make. But if you discipline yourself and you focus on where you're trying to go,
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing you can't do. Determination. You got to be determined on what you're doing, because once again, you get those things that sidetrack you easily. If you're not determined about where you're trying to go,
Mm-hmm.
you fall off track easy. And you got to be dedicated to what you're doing. And so I preach that to anybody that I come in contact with that takes the time to have a conversation with me. Discipline, dedication, and determination. It's a mind state. Get It Mode is not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
Okay, so as you preach that, right?
Yes.
How do you apply that in your everyday life?
So my discipline comes from, or includes, no matter what I got going on,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, like I just told you, I work a 14-hour a day job. My discipline is when I get off of work or before I go into work, I'm disciplining myself to build this brand, build this lifestyle, to do what it takes to take it to another level.
Okay. So at what point do you do self-care? Because I'm hearing a lot of, I go. And, pressure bursts pipes.
Right.
And keep going breaks any man. Right. So a lot of times I speak to a lot of business owners such as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Arthur's, I mean, you name it. I've had Randy from the Schoolhouse Tours was on here.
I know him.
And most people can't get that interview. We got a lot of people come through. And one thing people have in common is they forget that. And
Right.
people break down. Right. So what does that mean to you? Because you're on the opposite end. You're saying just go. How does self-care and like a mental health play into your life as you adopt a lifestyle to say don't stop?
Well, I believe it also it has to do with the people you surround yourself with.
Okay.
I'm a person who's I've been labeled this, and I truly believe it. I'm an introvert, so I'm not a person.
Meaning,
I'm not I'm like to myself.
okay.
I have a very strong support staff in my family. So when it comes to self-care, I eat healthy. I don't really eat fast food. I eat a lot of vegetables. I try to take care of myself in that way. I'm just learning about ginger and turmeric. And
the magic it provides.
So
that gives you energy too.
And sea moss.
Yeah.
Those are some ways that I self-care.
Gotcha.
Even in my 14-hour days, I'm at work exercising. I might have a 10-minute break, or I might get out the truck to do something. I'm gonna bust down, do some push-ups, jumping jacks, and some things just to keep my muscles and my body going.
Right.
I have a very good example in a 75-year-old mother who walks 5 miles a day, who does line dancing 3 or 4 times a week. If you saw her, you would never know that she was 75 years old. So when I look at that and I have that example,
teach you about longevity.
It shows me, and she's always giving me tips on how to make sure that I'm taking vitamins.
So
go ahead.
You talk about seeing people, right? That 75 still at it. Do you see yourself still doing get it mode at 75? And what would that look like?
Okay, so at 75, with what I see, I won't have to go as hard. I have a 25-year-old son. I have a 14-year-old daughter. Everything I do is for them. They are much a part of the brand. So, and lifestyle. So at 75, I plan on this to be in stores, a household name, and being run by those two. That's my ultimate plan.
Okay.
And I know it takes work to get there. So right now I'm doing the bulk of the work, and I have no problem with that. But I do have their assistance and their input. I have a wonderful wife who I don't even have words to explain. So when you have, that's where it goes back to where I said you have to have a good people. You have to have
staff.
people around you, and it makes it a little more easier.
Why did you come up with this, honestly? I mean, you got a trucker job, bro. So, like, anybody that know anything about money, trucker makes respectable amount of money. A lot of them starts running their own yards, pulling freight, do really well. That lifestyle in itself comes with its own paycheck and rewards. Definitely, hands down. A respectable amount of money. Very respectable amount of money. I know I have a couple of friends that's done it before, and I don't even want to say how much they make. Right. Respectfully. What made you say, you know what, I'm going to switch gears, though. I want to fire my job.
So this started in 2013 before I came a trucker. I used to be, my goal was to be the next Ice Cube at one point.
So you start off rapping?
Yes.
What songs you rap, bro? What's the name?
I got all kind of songs, man. Hustling is one.
Okay.
A song I dedicated to Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got a video. Start Over. Like, these are recent songs that I've done in the past year. Old School. You could check them all out on YouTube at Blackwater Kaos.
Okay.
Or you could check out the website www.nobreaksnolimits.
Okay.
I got videos and music up there. But it started from music. I was working 2 jobs. I was a full-time father. I was in the studio every day, at least 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
And I was in that get it mode. And I was so focused and determined on what I was doing. But I wasn't focused and determined enough because I got sidetracked.
What was that like? Because a lot of people get
get
sidetracked. That's part of being human. What was that like?
Can I just? I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was a confidence struggle at the time.
Self-esteem?
You could say self-esteem, but
No, I was questioning like what do you mean?
You know what? I was never, as many compliments and raves I got about my music, I was never confident in it like that.
Well, why not, bro?
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. I've never had anybody tell me, oh, that's garbage. I've never had anybody say don't. I've never heard anything negative about my music.
So was that what made you feel suspect? Like
it was
nobody saying
internal.
it sucks?
It was an internal thing.
Okay.
And music came from my father, so I grew up around jazz and different music.
Okay.
So I just naturally progressed into rapping, and I loved it. But like I said, I was still trying to get it at all points.
What was you trying to give to the hip hop game? Because most artists that make it, they actually add something to the game at some point. Like, Soulja Boy added something to the game. Drake has added something to the game. Whether you like what they added to the game is to be debated.
Right,
that's
right.
part of hip hop. But
So I'm a West. Let me say this. I was titled a West Coast artist.
Okay.
But I had a East Coast
delivery.
Not delivery, but I had an East Coast feel to me.
Okay.
And I believed at the time it was a lot of, from our era, it was a lot of shoot 'em up, bang bang. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm an Ice Cube fan. I'm a Mac 10 fan. I'm a Game fan, all those guys. But I felt that I was just bringing a different aspect where I was bringing
like you was the corrupt out the group.
Somewhat. My wordplay wasn't as crazy as corrupt, but I had that feel to it, and I had a lot more metaphors and just a different delivery and feel.
Okay.
But I loved it.
So
that was not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But people use music and they want to be stars.
Right.
Right. I always use music as therapy.
Okay. I've heard that before.
And I think that was one of my problems. Like I wasn't the guy trying to be a superstar. I thought I was gonna be Ice Cube from the love I got.
Right.
But it was really just therapeutic for me. You know what I'm saying?
So how does that fit in your life now? Because your father, got a career going with the driving. You got the brand going. Where does music sit now with you? You still do it just for
I haven't been in the studio and recorded anything in almost a year. And that sounds so foreign to me.
Okay.
It's just I haven't had the time. I shifted to do this. I believe that this is where my heart is right now. Music will always be therapeutic. I still do features for people. It's been like a year, like I said, but to sit down and actually put out a project, I don't know, my heart is all the way in it. And if my heart's not in it, I'm
not gonna rock with it. Right?
I don't want to rob it.
Right.
I love music too much. So I don't want to rob anyone. If you're gonna buy something from me or even listen for free, I want you to get something that's from here. You know what I'm saying? Not something that just for the moment. Everything I write is from here. It's from deep down.
Right.
You get a chance, go listen to the song Lost, and it'll tell you where I was at a point where I was suicidal. I was sitting in the studio with a gun in my head. So I've been in some dark places, but
okay, so now in hindsight, right?
Go ahead.
You're out of those places.
Yep.
To the person, we all know somebody like us.
Mm-hmm.
What can you identify what was the problem with your psyche and your thinking that caused you to be in those places? Like now that you passed it, and you had to have matured past that area, so you can admit you're wrong.
Oh yeah.
You was playing in your story. What did you have to outgrow?
I had to outgrow my own thoughts. I had to outgrow my childish ways. There was a time I would have walked in this room and just thought everybody was against me. You didn't have to say nothing. I would have just walked in here and been on a defense mode. You would have been like, what is wrong with this dude? I've had it happen. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to the confidence. Maybe, like you said, self-esteem. It was me. I think one of the best things that happened to me is when I started driving. Like I used to smoke weed so much. I would smoke, man, almost a quarter pound a day. I'm not talking about with you and you. I'm talking about to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started driving, I couldn't smoke no more.
Right.
One day I went and bought some, rolled it up, and threw it all in the trash. February 19th, 2021. I haven't smoked since then.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I feel like I've gotten a clearer head, which is wild, but I always thought that helped me think, but it seemed to have cleared my thoughts. It allowed me to be in a room with people and not feel like everybody's against me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you was paranoid in a mug smoking that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Well, first of all, you smoking a quarter pound to yourself?
Yes, sir.
Sir, yeah, that's enough to make anybody paranoid. Sir.
Anybody that knows
that's
me.
That's entirely too much weed, sir.
And I'm not just saying that. Ask anybody that know me, they'll tell you.
But still, that's still entirely too much weed, sir. You smoking that much weed.
Chain smoking.
Yeah, bro. Nah. You just need, blunt or two. You feel me? So.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good now though, man. I just I'm focused on life, man.
Man, you took the How High logo serious than a mud.
Yeah, nah, really, man. That I always thought I was running from something. I was running.
What was you running from?
Myself.
Bro? And now, are you okay with yourself? Because a lot of times when I talk to people on the show, the step from being an employee to becoming your own brand, business owner, is self-esteem. And that comes from like mental health. And we don't talk a lot about that in the hip hop culture.
Okay.
But we do, because we express it through rap.
Definitely.
You feel me?
Definitely.
So now that we becoming more articulate and can identify these emotions, what would you say now was the greatest one that freed you when you identified it?
The greatest emotion that freed me?
That helped you become the business owner that you are today. That helped create the get it mode mindset.
I don't know. My emotion, probably happy, joy.
Joy. And why so?
Nowadays, I find joy in waking up. I find joy in, I just met you shaking. I find joy in that.
Right.
I find joy in someone calling me saying, hey, come through, or meeting someone I never met, and just we ain't even got to have a conversation. Just slap hands. But doesn't
that tie back to like you doing what you want to do with your life, right? At this point, Definitely. You're doing what you want to do with your life,
right?
But you had to sit down at one point and decide what it is you wanted to do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yes.
Which comes back to confidence. So that was it was a moment where you was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna do this shit my way. Frankie Blue Eyes, baby, that's me, right? And you had to. So for me, my moment was fuck it, I'm going to do it my way. I call it the law of fuck it.
I got you. I
got it to a point where like, fuck it, everybody say I want to do shit my way. At that point, I didn't think I was. But now I say I am going to do it my way. Everything I love to do, I'm going to go do that shit.
You got to.
And a lot of business owners, yourself included, has done this. So that was when I practiced the law of fuck it. But I do practice the law of fuck it. But what law would you say you practice? Is it joy? Because now you say you waking up happy.
It is.
That's what it sounds like.
It is. It's pure joy. And let me make this abundantly clear. I'm still a work in progress.
Bless.
I don't ever claim that I got it all. Like I'm totally
still going
good.
through it. Yeah,
I'm a work in progress, and I'm getting knowledge. I take the time now to get knowledge about things. I jumped into this head first. I didn't ask anybody anything. I didn't know anything. I didn't go get no knowledge. I went and printed up some T-shirts and thought I was finna go crazy.
Right.
Then when the support is different from customers. Support is your family, your homies. Okay, when they finish buying T-shirts,
who's really buying them?
Who's buying T-shirts? Who's buying a hat? Who's buying whatever you selling? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had to get the knowledge of why is it that I got a bunch of T-shirts. It say a dope saying on it. Nobody wants to buy it. Well, a person told me this one time when I was doing music. He said you could be the dopest rapper in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if no one ever hears you, you just another dude rapping.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to anything with my brand. I could have the dopest shit in the world. excuse me for cursing, I got the dopest stuff in the world. If no one ever hears of it or sees it, I just got t-shirts and hats with stuff on it.
Right.
So that's a mind state shift. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to get out and network with people. I just told you I'm to myself. People always ask me, how did you
What
rap?
is that like? Because a lot of people have to come out of their shells, introvert, have to come out to go get it, right?
It's
What's that like? Because I'm sure there's moments where the introvert side kick in.
It's a struggle. It's a daily struggle and progress. We just spoke on an event I did recently.
Right. Shout out to that event, the Sneaker Ball.
Yeah, shout out to LA Bandit and his whole team, TTSP. But at that event,
And Vendor Oasis.
right. At that event, I went into introvert mode. I was more laid back and kind of relaxed and in the cut. I got a big setup out here.
Okay.
You got people walking by, but you got other vendors. You got people going to see the show. If you're not stopping the people walking by to let them know what you got going on, you just something in the road.
You gotta hustle.
You just a marker in the road. And like I said, I'm learning. I don't ever proclaim to have it all down. So that, and I could admit when I'm wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I did something wrong, have no problem admitting that ever.
So what you think you did wrong?
I was too relaxed. I was too in introvert mode. I wasn't social enough.
Right.
That's the word I'm gonna use.
And what do you use to help you overcome the introvert side?
I talk to myself a lot. I talk to God a lot.
You should.
I don't just pray when it's time to pray. I talk to God. I have conversations all day long. I could be driving here, going home, driving my truck at work, when I'm printing, when I'm out. Or I have a time where I just don't turn on anything. I don't listen to anything. It's just pure quiet. I sit in silence for at least 10 minutes a day. That's mandatory. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to see nothing. I just need 10 minutes of silence. Just to have that conversation, and also just to sit and let my mind relax. I go so much. I told you 25 hours. I go so much. I need 10 minutes to just let my mind not think. People call it meditating.
Let me ask you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm learning this new concept. It's called the 80-20 rule. Have you heard of this?
Sounds familiar.
All right, so 80% of your success is going to come from 20% of what you do. And when I learned this rule, it started making me stop saying, okay, so what is success? Mm-hmm. Is it me working 25 hours and bragging about it?
Nope.
Or is it me working 1 hour and getting paid for 25?
Yep.
So how do I focus on the 20% of what I'm doing that's making me financially stable and cut off the 60? Right? Because when we think mindset of hustling, it's a hustle though, bro. You get me? So we're leaving the 9-to-5 plantation to become a slave to ourselves. But ain't the definition of success is freedom? Because that's what we get the money for, right?
Right.
Now, if I hustle and my kids get the success, did I win? No, they did. I still didn't.
Right.
Now, I can brag I sacrificed to make myself feel good as a loser, but did I win?
But why are you a loser, though?
Because I didn't win. Now, I can cheer for my kids all I want, and as a dad, I should. But did I win?
So I think I look at it different.
Right.
I don't think that. So let me say me. I don't feel I'm a loser.
No, I'm not saying.
I'm not saying you said that, but the 80-20 rule, like you said, is it good to brag about the 25 and get paid for that, or do the 1 and get paid for that 25? Well, it's an adjustment period to get to that. For one, It's a mind state. Now that's a sacrifice. You just told me about how you know how truckers get paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now at this point, I told you I'm trying to fire my job.
Right.
Do I walk off my job tomorrow, Monday, and tell them keep your check and go full throttle here? Well, or can I go to work for a little more, build up what I need to build up, so I can just fire them and focus on. This is where I'm at in the trucking space. I haven't been here long. Been 4 years.
Right.
So I'm managing things. I'm cleaning up what I dirtied up in the past to get to a point where I can say, you're fired. I don't need your services anymore.
Right.
No 2-week notice.
Right.
Just you're fired. So I'm trying to get to that 1 hour for 25 hours.
Right.
It's a process.
No, because I keep hearing it, but these rich folks that I talk to who sign my checks, who are starting to sign my checks.
That's right.
Yeah. Totally different. So I think the message should now be like, is grinding really the way? Is it? Because if you look at life itself, there's a bunch of people that work hard, but they ain't paid.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't paid. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you get to do it on YouTube. We'll do it probably like 2 hours a day, make about 40 reels out that thing or whatever, post only like 10 of them. Boy paid. So it should be now, because everybody right now has this thing where they're promoting their stuff, they going out. Should the focus now be directed? Are we ready as a community to now taking sniper shots in this business thing? Because everybody's ready to get in the business now. Should we start now focusing on the 80-20 rule? What do you think?
I do believe that, but what I will say to your question is, my generation. I don't know you guys, but my generation.
Oh, I'm an 80s baby.
And the ones before me, even the 80s babies, we were taught since birth, grind, right? People in the streets, whether you in the streets, whether you work, your parents taught you to grind. The homies in the street taught you to grind. So you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm not gonna do it. If you've been doing that, not to cut you off, but if you've been doing that for 30, 40 years,
yeah, it's a hell of a mindset.
A shift. The kids nowadays,
do you still battle with the employee mindset?
I do. I have bills. I have a family. So
what I'm underlyingly talking about is the employee mindset. The employee mindset is I need to do X amount of hours to get such reward. When the boss mindset say, no, pimp, just no, I'm not going to waste my time putting in all that work and getting just that little income. No. I need to maximize effect and maximize reward.
Right.
So if that's what I'm getting at, because I know when I started my business, man, I felt like if I wasn't doing 8 hours a day for myself, I was cheating myself.
Somebody tell me that. I had somebody tell me that when I was doing music.
But that's not how ownership is. Sometimes ownership could be a whole 24-hour day, and some days it's not even an hour, because you're relying on residual at some point, or at some point a check come in that you put some work in for a while back, and now it's coming. So let's not. I hope we don't get into business and be just to be slaves of ourselves
and be complacent. No.
Yeah, no. We can start working for ourselves, and next thing you know, we're working for ourselves 100%. And we still don't see the damn kids.
We just created another job.
Yeah, we just made ourselves a slave to ourselves. Like
no. But then you got to think, these kids nowadays, as they were born with information, access to information that we weren't privy to for 30 to 40 years, unless we did a whole lot of digging that they hid from us.
Oh, no, I feel you, because now I go on YouTube to learn stuff, because they got the information that we didn't get to get, and we was taught to be employees. So the boss mindset we have to learn, right? So but thank God we got YouTube. We can catch up with them kids,
Right.
But we can do what them kids can't do because we already got bank accounts. We already got
Some other
tax
things. Yeah,
history. We can start applying it real world right now and come up. And I think that's very important for all of us to start seeing.
I got you.
So before we get up out of here, one thing I like to do
Go ahead.
is look at that camera for me.
Mm-hmm.
The little kid right now who grew up in the neighborhood just like you, who thought he was gonna be Ice Cube just like you, who now found out he might have to drive some trucks to make up for his past. What you got to say to do?
Don't stop. Don't give up. Stay focused on your dreams. If you have to take a small detour and be an employee for a second, it's nothing wrong with that. Do what you have to do to get where you want to go. Don't let anybody distract you. There are distractions around us all day, every day. Never stop. Never place limits. Keep going.
There you have it. So Kaos, man, I appreciate you, man.
No, man, I appreciate
I think
you.
we talked about a lot of good stuff. I really appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah, man, I love good conversation, man. So I appreciate you guys, for real.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we'd like to say we love you, we appreciate you, we respect you, but we out. Peace.